This time last year, we're talking about Xabi Alonso. Was he going to Liverpool? Was he going to Real Madrid? Was he going to stay at Bayer Leverkusen? He, of course, announced that he was going to stay. He was asked about his future ahead of the clash against Bochum tomorrow. He said, "I've not taken any decision. It was a different situation compared to last year. There was something to decide, and now there isn't. There's no deadline. I remain focused on this season. We don't want to speculate about anything beyond football." Well, you may not, but we do. As Derek Rae joins us, Sid Lowe as well. Derek, what does your heart say about this? Where do you think Xabi Alonso will be at the start of next season?
I think, Dan, I am where I was when you invited me onto the show a few weeks ago. For me, Xabi Alonso will probably be the Real Madrid coach next season. I can understand, though, why he doesn't want to say anything about it. Why should he? He's right. Last season was different. He had two very big clubs in Liverpool and Bayern courting him because they needed managers or head coaches at the time. And this season is different. It's all shrouded in a bit of mystery, publicly anyway. I think that he really does want to be the Real Madrid coach. Why would he not want to be the Real Madrid coach when you consider where he's from? And if you look at his body of work with Leverkusen, it's been sensational. Last season, of course, surprising everyone. This season, too. I mean, if they go on and win the DFB Pokal, there's a good chance that they will. If they finish second, they could pit Bayern at the post. It's a long shot, I would say. It is maybe doable, more doable than it was after their comeback victory over Stuttgart, but everything is going pretty swimmingly for Xabi Alonso. So I think playing a straight bat as he did at the press conference today was absolutely right. He has no need at all to talk about what he's going to be doing next season. At the same time, we can speculate, and I would be surprised if he decides that another season for him in Leverkusen is in order. And I say that because I think there will be a big summer of change coming up. I think a lot of players will leave. I think maybe the culture at the club could change a little bit, and perhaps the only way is down. So he doesn't need to say anything about it, but I am, as I said, where I was a few weeks ago, probably Real Madrid, even though we don't know, and Sid would certainly know better than I, we don't know publicly what's going to happen with Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid.
He never calls now, never writes.
Who, Derek?
Oh.
Derek.
No, it's great for that.
You're always having to go at him for his German.
Oh, I'm always having a go.
Why would he do that?
I've been having a go at him for years.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, I didn't realise there was going to be a personal relationship counselling section.
Oh, you need counselling to be on this show.
Well, yes, that's very true. Sid, Derek says that Alonso's definitely going to Real Madrid. Carlo won't like that.
Do you know what? This is one of the amazing things about Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo won't mind. I mean, genuinely, this is one of the reasons why there isn't that sense of pressure, why there isn't that sense of hurry. I think because you've got two men involved in this particular equation who neither of them feel the need for big and radical and rushed decisions. Completely agree with Derek about Xabi's mindset, which is that you win the league last year. You want that opportunity to take the team into the Champions League. You want the opportunity to take it beyond just like feeling like you've done one great season. You're not in a hurry. Last year, I remember there being lots of talk about, well, Xabi Alonso's never going to get this opportunity again when two teams as big as Real Madrid and Liverpool are after him in the same summer. Xabi Alonso doesn't need two teams after him. He needs one team after him at the time that suits him. So now it's true that Liverpool job possibly isn't there anymore because Arne Slot's done so well. But the Real Madrid job is always a few games away from being there. There's a timing thing with Ancelotti, which no one really thinks Ancelotti stays on forever. Ancelotti himself accepts it now if he's nudged to the side or if he's encouraged to go. Ancelotti has always said he will not resign. When he goes will be when Florentino Perez decides it, and he will accept it. He will not make it difficult. Now that slightly disguises something, which is that he too knows, and at certain points of this season has felt very clearly, okay, the time is right, but let's do this in a calm and rational way. And I think we're in a situation in which you've got two men who are kind of, their interests kind of coincide, even though that sounds like a ridiculous thing to say. Because how can their interests coincide if they would both quite like to be the Real Madrid manager next year? And it's because neither of them are in a position where they're absolutely desperate to force the issue either way.
Is the time still right, though, Sid, if they win?
What are you looking at me for?
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm not Sid.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Is the time still right, though? Well, is the time still... Shut up. Is the time still right?
What do you think, Sid?
If they win La Liga, and the Champions League. Does it change the narrative?
Well, look, I mean, this is one of the sort of contradictory things about this. And Ancelotti, remember that period, what we're talking about now, is it 12 months or so ago, when Ancelotti was talking to the Brazilian Federation, and he actually I think personally made the mistake of publicly saying, yes, I'd quite like to do this. He'd been talking kind of semi-openly with Brazil, and then he admitted it, and he said, well, you know, it would be nice, it's an opportunity, it's something that's very interesting. At that point, it was because, put bluntly, Ancelotti assumed, well, look, at some point this lot will sack me, and then I'll go to Brazil and it'll be fine. And of course what happened was he kept on winning, and they didn't sack him. and I think part of the problem there in part was because Ancelotti had kind of publicly, if you like, entertained this idea. Bizarrely, and contradictory though this sounds, there was a kind of a determination from Real Madrid not to sack him. Now, let's not give him what he wants if that's what he's going to do. And of course, Ancelotti has this terrible habit of keeping on winning. Now, I do think it's like the reason why I was talking about a contradiction is because if Ancelotti doesn't win the Champions League and La Liga, then there's a sense that, well, they change him. Now, that's just what Real Madrid do. That's what the demands are at Real Madrid. Equally, if he does, he's in a position, even though he himself has said, I won't be the one to go, he's in a position where he can basically say, you know what? Okay, it's time.
Dorival Jr., of course, on the brink of getting sacked as the Brazil coach. The Brazilian FA have made no secret the fact they want Carlo Ancelotti in, if indeed he is available.
Deja vu all over again.
It is deja.